Want to see AI revolutionize appointment booking right before your eyes? Well, in this video, I'll demonstrate how this AI virtual assistant handles the entire booking process, from scheduling initial appointments to managing cancellations and reschedules. Watch as our voice AI agent interacts naturally with callers, asks the right questions, and updates your calendar system in real time. No more double bookings or scheduling conflicts. Ready to transform how you manage your appointments? Let's dive in. Okay, awesome. So let's call this AI agent.
Hi, this is Ali's virtual assistant. How can I help you?
Hey, I was looking to make a booking, please.
Of course, may I have your name, the date and time you'd like for the booking, and your email address? Please make sure to spell out your email.
Yeah, my name is Ali, and I want the booking for tomorrow at 1 p.m. And my email is amoha11033@gmail.com.
Thank you, Ali. Just to confirm, you would like to book an appointment for tomorrow at 1 p.m., correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Give me 1 second.
Awesome, so that is just filling out all the details, and it should be done in a second.
It seems that there is availability at 1 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. tomorrow. Would you like to confirm the 1 p.m. slot?
Yes, please. We'll do 1 p.m.
Give me 1 second.
Awesome, so it's basically asked me, hey, do you want to do 1:30 or 1 o'clock? And I said 1.
Thank you for confirming, Ali. I've now created the booking for you. Ali looks forward to seeing you tomorrow at 1 p.m.
Awesome. All right, great. Thank you. Awesome. So that has now been confirmed for 1 p.m. Now we can go to the post-call analysis. And the reason why we're using DeepSeek for some of these AI models is just because, one, it's very cost effective, and two, because now that it's the post-call, we can take as much time as we want. And these reasoner models take a long time, which is why we don't use them during the call. We just use 4.0 Mini. So that's why we use DeepSeek. So this is basically going to check and read through the transcripts, and it's basically reading through this transcript, which has just been formatted a bit nicer, and it's going to read through that to determine if the user has cancelled. In this case, we haven't cancelled, but I'll be showing you what that looks like if we do. This is going to analyze the email, which is what we need in order to send the booking. So once it does that, it'll basically grab the email for us to use. And then next, once this is all done, we're going to recall the agent and cancel the booking and see what happens then. So fingers crossed that works, but hopefully now it's going to send the confirmation email and it's going to create the booking for us. Awesome. So if we go into cal.com, we should see a booking. Awesome. So this is the booking that we created. This is a different booking with our company, but this is the booking we created for 1 o'clock tomorrow, which is Monday, which is awesome. Now we want to actually cancel this booking. So let's call this agent again and cancel the booking. Okay, awesome. So let's cancel that 1 p.m. booking.
Hi, this is Ali's virtual assistant. How can I help you?
Hey, I'd like to cancel my booking, please.
Sure, I can help you with that. Could you please provide me with your original booking details?
Yeah, so my name was Ali, and I made a booking for tomorrow at 1 p.m. that I would like to cancel.
Thank you, Ali. Just to confirm, you would like to cancel your booking for tomorrow at 1 p.m., correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Give me 1 second.
Awesome, so this should hopefully go through all the child agents and actually cancel my booking, and it should not go through the availability node. Awesome.
Your booking for tomorrow at 1 p.m. has been successfully canceled, Ali. If there's anything else you need, or if you'd like to schedule a new booking, just let me know.
Awesome, thank you so much.
You're very...
Okay, awesome. So looks like the booking has been cancelled, and if we go back into cal.com, you can see here that the booking is no longer here, which is awesome, right? So now it's going to go through the post-call analysis and basically check, did this user cancel? Which in this case we did. And if the user cancels, we just send ourselves an email saying, hey, this guy canceled, just making sure. Next, we're going to do the rescheduling aspect of this voice agent once this flow finishes building. So I'm going to go ahead and recreate that 1 p.m. booking and just change it for 2 p.m. and we'll be able to see that in action once this completes. Okay, awesome. So let's call this AI to basically reschedule our appointment tomorrow.
Hi, this is Allie's virtual assistant. How can I help you?
Hey, I would like to reschedule my appointment, please.
Of course. Could you please provide me with your original booking details? This includes the date and time of your current appointment.
Yeah, so I'd like to reschedule from tomorrow at 1 p.m. to tomorrow at 2 p.m. Is that possible?
Just to confirm, you would like to reschedule your appointment from tomorrow at 1 p.m. to tomorrow at 2 p.m., correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you for confirming your appointment has been successfully rescheduled to tomorrow at 2 p.m. Ali looks forward to seeing you then.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome, that was very quick.
I'm glad to hear that. If you need any further assistance or have any more questions, feel free to ask. Have a great day.
Okay, thank you. Goodbye. Awesome. So sounds like they were able to reschedule my appointment, and fingers crossed, look at that. Appointment has been rescheduled to 2 p.m. tomorrow. That is awesome. That is so awesome. So I guess the agent was able to identify that once this availability was obviously freed up, that it would obviously make the appointment for me. But anyways, that's basically it. We've covered creating the appointment, we've covered canceling the appointment, and we've even covered rescheduling the appointment, all within the same call. Now, I didn't activate it again for this post-call flow, but you can imagine the post-call flow, what's going to happen is probably need changes. I'll probably change this to include, oh no, it does do cancel and reschedule, so that's all good. So this should hopefully just send a message to the user, basically informing them of, I'll change this so that there's a rescheduling route as well. I think that'll be important. So let's break down the VAPI appointment booker, and we're going to start off with the first message. Hey, this is Ollie's virtual assistant. How can I help you? And the reason I like using VAPI for this is because they have a very nice tool calling functionality, and I'll explain what that is in a second. But then this is our system prompt. I will be having this in the link in the description, so you can copy this as you please. But the general premise is pretty much great. If the customer requests a booking, ask for their name and wait for a response. Ask for the booking details, date and time of the booking. Ask the user for their email. Make sure for them to spell it out. Confirm the booking details, and once the booking details have been confirmed, we can use the set booking tool to create a booking. If the booking time is not available and you request the user to choose a different time slot, then make sure the user confirms again and use the cool set booking tool again. Use the set booking tool, inform the customer that the booking has been created. If the user calls and asks to change the booking, confirm the original and new booking times. If the user wants to cancel/reschedule, proceed to ask them the original booking details. Are pretty much the same thing. Just making sure that it uses the set booking tool, and then down into the specifics, we have my working hours, which you would change, and then some examples, and then some notes based on some problems I've had in the past. But we're using 4.0 mini for this one just because it's quick, it's cheap, and I believe with a prompt of this strength, 4.0 mini performs quite well. Temperature 0.3, we just want this to make bookings, pretty simple. Max tokens of 125 so it doesn't start rambling. Transcriber, we use DeepGram Nova 3, and some of the key terms we're looking for is make a booking, appointment, cancel, reschedule. Very simple. Voice 11 Labs Sarah, you can play around with this as much as you want, doesn't really matter. 11 Flash V2, our newest model. I actually like using Turbo simply because it has better quality. So we're going to go with Turbo for this one. You can play around with it. Office background sound, stability, play around with that as you please. Functions. So I created a tool called Set Booking, and inside of VAPI, you can go into the tool section and create your own tool. I've set this tool to basically set booking triggers anytime the user and the AI agent have both confirmed the time, name of the user, and what type of booking they're looking to make, whether that is a new booking, canceling an existing booking, or rescheduling. And then we have a function, which is booking trigger, triggers when the user wants to create, cancel, or reschedule booking. Then when the tool is being called, it says, give me 1 sec, which kind of tells us if this agent is actually doing the tool call because it said this word. Awesome. Advanced settings. Advanced settings, pretty much just audio recording. Wait seconds, just put everything to 0.6. The reason I put it to 0.6 is because sometimes the voice agent speaks too quickly after someone responds. So we just add that little bit of a buffer. Number of words after, or basically number of words for the assistant to stop talking, 3. Silence timeout, pretty much kept that the same. And then Obviously, for your server URL, you want to put your webhook URL, and I'll show you what that means in a second. Client messages and server messages I've just kept as default. You can just keep this as default, and I think that should be awesome. And it's pretty much good to go. We can publish that, and we can hop into the N8N workflow before we make the call. So this is the webhook I was talking about. You basically want to configure this webhook to both your tool call and your server client or your server URL. And there, I'll show you why in a second. Make sure it's a post request and make sure you're using the respond to webhook node. And I'll show you what that is in a second. But then once you make this, you'll get a bunch of data which you don't want to use. So we use a split out tool to basically get the formatted transcript. Then we basically grab the last 20 or so messages. You can play around with this number as much as you want, but I found 20 is roughly the amount of dialogue that's exchanged with the voice agent. Then we bundle all those items up into one main transcript. Then this is the switch node. So basically, if it's a tool call or a post analysis, so because we're using the same webhook, obviously there's going to be two different routes that we're going to be going down. We're going to be going down the tool call route, or we're going to be going down the end of call analysis. So we could put this in here to be like, hey, if the webhook type is a tool call, then obviously, make it go down the tool call route, make it true. Did I just click something by accident? Probably. And obviously, if this webhook is a end of call report, then rename it to end of call analysis. Awesome. So we're going to go up this path. So this is our first AI agent, which basically checks availability. So we call the AI agent to check the current availability through our cal.com and return the results for the specific time. There's a prompt that I've used in here that I'm going to give away in this video, hopefully, if everything goes well. Basically, it will check the transcripts and see what time the user wanted to make the booking. It will then check the availability using this HTTP node, which is basically the cal.com post URL. And in case anyone has no idea what I'm talking about, we'll quickly hop into cal.com and show you exactly what I mean by going into developer API. And we can go down to get all availability. So let's figure out where that is in this absolute behemoth. Get all bookings. So this is the HTTP request that we are making. It's quite simple. It's quite simple. It's a GET request, so we don't need to send any data. Just need to grab this URL, authorization, which is your API key, and the Cal API version, which they give you right here. Make sure for your authorization it's bearer token. I'm not going to be showing mine for obvious reasons, but basically you do that. And I've also put some query parameters as well. Very important. Query parameters are kind of like filters so that the HTTP request can make sure it pretty much just gets the right thing. So we're basically querying for the start time, which is determined by the model, and the start time is just like the time that the user has chosen. So for example, if the user wants to make a booking at 2 p.m., then the AI agent will understand that the start time is 2 p.m. And then inside of our prompts, we've said the end time is 30 minutes later. So this would, in this case, be 2:30. Then we have the event type, which in my case is this one. And time zone, also very important. My time zone is Australia/Brisbane. You'll have to check yours, make sure that's correct. And that's pretty much all the query parameters that we use. Once we do that, I'm going to come back to this child agent node in a second. But once we do that, we pass the transcript. And the reason why we pass the transcript is because I've noticed, basically from this configuration, Airtable doesn't like the way that the transcript is passed in this node. So we have to do a bit more passing in markdown format to make sure that the transcript is readable inside of an Airtable. Then we add our transcript to Airtable. We choose Airtable because that's just our CRM, but of course you can make this whatever you want. So we go into here and I'll show you the Airtable in a second. I'll show you the Airtable, but this is what the Airtable looks like. It's basically just bookings with Ali and bookings. So you have your name, which is just a single line text, data booking, single line text, timer booking, single line text, phone number, single line text, time change is long text, and then transcript, which is what I was just talking about, is long text. So once that's done, we basically just take the phone number from the webhook and put it in here. The transcript from that JSON field, we put it in here. And that's basically it. We just match it to the phone number. Pretty self-explanatory. Then we use another code block to basically check if we are available. And the reason why we do this instead of an AI agent is because the AI agent takes time to obviously process the prompt and obviously process the request, whereas a code block is quite instant. I've prompted this AI agent to basically always start with there seems to be availability if there is availability, and then just say something else if there's not availability. So this code basically checks that if the output of the AI agent starts with this phrase, then it's available. If it doesn't start with this phrase, it's probably not available. And that's worked 10 times out of 10. So obviously, if we're available, then we go up to this webhook request, which basically dynamically grabs our tool call and then dynamically grabs the result, which is the output of that AI agent. Basically just telling you, hey, we have a booking at this time. Awesome, we made the booking. Then obviously for the time that we don't have a booking, we obviously dynamically grab that webhook. And then the result is pretty much just, I'm sorry, but we don't have availability at that time. Would you like to make another one? And then it just repeats the process. Very straightforward. Let's dive into this child agent, which is basically just a role is to pretty much just store that information from the user and put it inside of a CRM. So this is the child agent. So obviously it takes a workflow input trigger, which is basically just describing the name of the user, the date that they wanted to make, the time, and their phone number. So pretty straightforward. You'll see that in action. But basically that information gets sent to an AI agent, which basically does a few things. So first of all, it searches if the user already exists before it creates a new Airtable record. If the user doesn't exist, then it creates a new user record. By the way, this is all prompted within the AI agent. I'm just giving you a high-level overview. Basically, checks to see if the user exists. If the user doesn't exist, it creates a new user. If the user already exists, then it updates their user info instead of having to create a new row. And this also checks if the user wants to update or cancel their booking. So you can see here, there's another node, which basically routes to call this tool only when the user has expressed interest in changing/canceling their original booking time. And this is basically what the child agent looks like. Basically takes that query, and there's another AI agent. See the pattern here, there's a lot of AI agents. But basically this AI agent will grab the booking ID relevant to that user. So retrieves the relevant UID based on the user parameters. And this is another HTTP request. So we're going to quickly go back into cal.com and show you which one that is. But this is basically, is it create a booking? It's create a booking. So this is basically creating a booking. Obviously, if the user wants to create a booking, this pretty much creates the booking. Awesome. So this performs two functions. It can either create the booking if the user wants to create a booking, or it can cancel an existing booking. Now, let's break this down a little bit. So obviously the create a booking tool is a post request. So you're obviously going to have to send some data, which is basically all this, which is absurd. Let's quickly break that down. So we have the great booking ID. Awesome. So we send a few query parameters, obviously the after start time, and then the pretty much just after start time to grab the relevant booking UID of the user. The status is very important. So status is basically the bookings that you currently have. And this was doing my head in a lot because it was grabbing the wrong UID. And as soon as I put in a query parameter for the status of all upcoming bookings instead of everything else, then that changed everything for me. And what I mean by that is basically, I think it's down here, status. I think it's status. No, hold on. It's okay. I have no idea where it is. Basically, I changed the status to all upcoming events and it basically fixed everything for me. So this grabs the relevant booking UID of the user. Oh, wait, this is create a booking. Hold on. I think I was meant to do. Oh, sorry. I was looking at the wrong one. That is my bad. I was looking at the wrong one. This is a get a booking request. Much more sense. Makes much more sense. Same principle though. It pretty much gets the booking UID, and then if the user wants to cancel, it basically takes the output of this AI agent, which is the booking UID, because you need that to cancel a booking. And then it pretty much just cancels the booking. Pretty straightforward. And that's this post request, which is, you can see it requires a dynamic booking UID variable. And that is basically produced by our AI agent, which is very powerful. So that's pretty much everything broken down. And my question is, does this actually create a booking? Oh, it does. So this is basically canceling a booking during the call. And now we're actually going to break down creating a booking. So I kind of confused myself a little bit here. I was like, hold on, does this create the booking or does this cancel it? No, this basically only routes if the user wants to update or cancel a booking. If they don't, this never exists or never happens. Now let's break down the second half, which is the end of call analysis. So assuming that the user wants to, two things actually, the user can either cancel or they could make a new booking. First of all, we search for the relevant call records based on their phone number, and that basically returns the transcript, which we then feed into these AI agents to give them context as to what happened. That's why we have this node here to basically pass the transcript so that we can use that for post-call analysis. So there's an AI agent here, which is basically if the user canceled. So determine if the user is canceling / rescheduling the booking. If the user has not mentioned that they're canceling their booking, return the output canceled, otherwise return not canceled. And then this is basically a switch node so that if the user did cancel, we basically just send ourselves an email saying, hey, this user canceled the booking. And obviously that cancellation happens during the call. If the user doesn't cancel a booking and they actually want to go ahead and make a booking, then we need to get their email. And the email is very important because we need that to actually create a booking inside of cal.com. So this is just a simple prompt which basically just extracts the email from the transcript because during the call we asked for their email. Then we basically send a confirmation email to ourselves just to double check, just to make sure everything's all good. This node basically returns a few things. It returns the name, email, phone number, and start date. And the reason we do that is because this HTTP request for bookings requires a few set parameters. It requires the name of the user, the time zone, the email, the phone number, the event ID, which is your unique event ID, and then the start time. And that's this request. So those are the only fields that we need. And once everything is given to the HTTP request, it basically creates a booking for us. It's pretty cool, pretty awesome stuff. Now, I'm pretty sure if I execute workflow doesn't require activation, awesome. So basically we can give this a call and actually see what happens and how it performs. So I made a few small changes just because the transcript wasn't really working properly. I added this code node, which basically just grabs the transcript for me into its individual items, pretty much same thing. And that'll give me a bunch of messages, which I just combine. And then I just use a set field to set the actual transcript. Same thing, just makes it easier for the AI. And now let's actually call the AI and make a booking. Awesome. So I just went back into the child agent and I actually created a new workflow for rescheduling the booking. This is all going to be provided to you in the link in the description, so I'm not going to go through it. But if we go into this flow, basically what we have here is pretty much the same thing as the canceling flow, except this time this AI agent is basically outputting the booking UID, and it's also outputting the new start time that the user wants. Because obviously when you're rescheduling, you're going to have to choose a new time to make that booking. So we do that. We run this code to basically split the AI's output into two separate items, which is the UID and the start time. And the reason we do that is because we need the UID in this field, but then we also need the start time in this field. So having them as two separate items helps us significantly, and that allows us to reschedule the booking. So without further ado, let's actually call this AI agent and reschedule a booking. I'm going to recreate that 1 p.m. booking real quick. Looks like the booking's already been made. That's all good. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found value in this video. Once again, all the templates are going to be down in the link in the description. And that's pretty much it. Check out our website if you want to get in touch with us and actually build out one of these systems for your own business. It's a lot more fleshed out. But other than that, I'm Ali, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of the day, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.